Hello guys, in this video I'm going to reveal how much my dividend growth portfolio made me in dividends last month. Now if you've seen the thumbnail or the title of the video, I'm pretty sure you already know how much I earned, but in this video I want to cover everything. I want to tell you how many stocks paid me, I want to tell you which stocks actually paid me, because that could perhaps give you ideas about which dividend growth stocks you should perhaps own in your portfolio, or you should perhaps start analyzing to perhaps one day buy into your portfolio. So it's taken me a very long time to actually create a video like this, because as you can imagine, you have to be quite vulnerable to be able to kind of show your portfolio and show how much you earn. So if you appreciate that honesty, if you appreciate that transparency, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure to do that as well, if you want, of course. Now, by the way, I've got loads of boxes here. We're actually moving house at the moment, which is why I've not been making that many videos lately. But anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's get started with how much I earn in dividends and everything you want to know. Okay, so the first thing that I want to cover, I want to make sure that you understand this, is why I'm following this strategy. I'm following dividend growth investing, which consists of buying companies or stocks that have a track record of increasing the dividend every single year. Now, the reason I'm doing that, first of all, is because they provide me with cash flow. They actually pay me into my account real cash, okay? Not stock price that fluctuates up and down, but real cash that I can then use to pay my bills, pay my rent, my mortgage, my food, okay? All of those things. And my personal plan is to one day earn enough dividends because of these stocks that those dividends can actually pay for all of my living expenses, which means that I won't have to work for money ever again unless I choose to. And as you can imagine, that opens up a massive world of opportunity, because you don't require to be paid to actually work, which means I can work on anything I want to, even if I'm not getting paid. That doesn't matter, because all of my expenses are being covered by these stocks. And chances are that what I get paid will actually increase every single year, because that's what these companies do. They are dividend growth stocks. There's also a little misconception, I feel like, around this YouTube financial community about dividend stocks, right? The reason that I'm buying these stocks is not because they pay a dividend. There's a lot of companies that pay a dividend, and sometimes that dividend is very nice, very juicy, 10% dividend yield. That's not why I own these stocks, okay? It's kind of counterintuitive, okay? The reason they're so good is not because they pay a dividend, but rather the reason that they are able to pay a dividend and grow it is because they are really good. I hope that makes sense, okay? Being able to grow their dividend is only really achievable by the very best of companies. I'm talking, Johnson & Johnson or Coca-Cola. Very well-known companies, very established companies, very well run, with often low debt, okay, that they can withstand whatever happens in the world. They've been doing so for, over a century for a lot of them. And that's why they are able to grow that dividend, okay? They've reached a point where they're not going to grow at 20% per year. Therefore, they can actually pay their shareholders with dividends. Okay, so with all of that out of the way, I'm just gonna jump into my screen right now and I'm gonna show you behind the scenes of the tool that I use to track my dividends, okay? It's called Dividend Compass. I've personally programmed this app. You can join Dividend Compass on the link below, and with that out of the way, let me show you how much I earned last month in February 2021. All right, this is it, guys. This is the dividend calendar within Dividend Compass. This is my real earnings, all right? This actually counts when I bought stocks, when I sold stocks, right? How many shares I bought, how many shares I sold. This counts absolutely everything. And, like I said, I have programmed this myself, and I've verified that this is true with my brokerage account. And this is all very, very accurate, okay? So this is basically the real amount of money that I earned in dividends in February, which is $983.97. Now, this also tells you how many stocks actually paid me those dividends. And in this case, it's 19 different companies all pay me their dividends. Some were bigger, some were smaller, as you'll see in a second, but 19 different companies, okay? That's because I'm pretty well diversified, perhaps overly diversified, but I do own a lot of different dividend growth stocks inside my portfolio, so that if anything happens to 1, 2, or 3 of them, it's not really going to affect my income or my overall portfolio all that much, okay? I do like to spread my bets, so this is why, I have 19 companies that paid me in the month of February. So let me scroll down and basically show you all these companies. Okay, I'm gonna go one by one. There's not that many companies really, well, 19 obviously, but basically what you're going to notice is that sometimes there are days that I don't get paid anything. And then there are days, like for example, the 1st of February, where I got paid by 5 different companies, right? So we've got CVS Health Corporation paid me $35, right? You can see here that I own, at least at the time that dividend was paid, okay? Because, Dividend Compass does take that into consideration. I owned 70 shares of CVS. Each one of those shares paid me 50 cents. So if you multiply number of shares by dividend, you get $35. I also got paid by General Mills, $56, by Lincoln National Corporation. This is one of my latest purchases. I bought this a few months ago. It was extremely cheap, and I think I got a really good price, to be honest. That paid me $21. And then we have everybody's favorite telecom stocks. We have AT&T and also Verizon. These two stocks, I don't know why, but they always pay on the same day. Or at least in this case, but they often, at least in the same month. But in this case, they both pay me dividends on the same day. In the case of AT&T, I do own quite a few shares. I own 190 shares. So I earned almost $100 from AT&T and $69 from Verizon. So as you can see, that this day I actually earned quite a lot of money. I almost earned, $250. I'm just doing quick maths here, but that was a very big payday. However, then I didn't earn anything on the 2nd or the 4th or the 5th. Well, obviously those are weekends, right? But this is kind of how it normally is, right? Then after that, on the 3rd, I earned $15 from Lowe's companies. Let me show you Lowe's companies real quick, by the way. This is the stock report inside of Dividend Compass. It tells you all sorts of information about this company. I love Lowe's companies. I think it's a fantastic company. It's got a really long track record. 58 years of consecutive dividend increases. Okay, if we scroll down real quick, this is their dividend history over the last 20 years. And as you can see, back in the year 2000, they were only paying, 3 cents of a dollar. 3 cents of a dollar per share. And if we forward 20 years, last year they were paying $2.25, right? You can see the massive increase in dividend. This is the kind of company that I want to own in my portfolio. And their earnings also grow very nicely, Obviously they experience some bad times, but they grow very nicely. I personally think that this kind of company that is able to grow its earnings and its dividend over time is going to make you very wealthy over time, if you give it enough time. This is why I personally own it, okay? I'm not telling you to go and buy Lowe's companies, but I personally own it. So obviously, I put my money where my mouth is. And in fact, I did make a very detailed analysis on Lowe's companies. You can find it here, I think, or here in one of these corners. There's going to be a pop-up. And if you're interested in the in-depth detailed analysis on those companies, make sure to check that out. But anyway, if we go back to the following week, on the 8th, I earned $17 from Air Products and Chemicals, $45 from Texas Instruments. This is, by the way, the company that makes those really fancy calculators. So I studied engineering, mechanical engineering at university, and everyone had these really fancy calculators that could draw graphs for you and stuff, and they were all made by Texas Instruments. But again, this is actually a really wonderful company. I really, really do like Texas Instruments. Let me show you real quick their stock report. There's a lot of green here, and in Dividend Compass, green means good, right? So at a very quick glance, you can see that this is a pretty good company. And again, look at their dividend track record. It isn't as good as Lowe's companies, okay? They only have a 17-year dividend growth streak. I say only, it's still very good, but it's not 50 years, okay? And as you can see, they actually kept their dividend flat for, I think they actually decreased the dividend and kept it flat until 2004, where they started increasing that dividend. And as you can see, some years that dividend increase is crazy, okay? Like 130%. But the average dividend growth rate over the last 10 years is over 20%. So again, really, really great company, very aggressive dividend growth rate. And their earnings have been able to back that up, right? This company, again, I really like it. It is quite expensive at the moment, actually very expensive at the moment. But you know, I did buy it a few years ago. I really do like Texas Instruments. Anyway, let's move on. On the 11th, I earned almost $25 from Apple. No introduction needed about Apple. Everyone loves this company. Again, very expensive at the moment, but I think it is a really good company to own in your portfolio nevertheless. And then here we have a day on the 16th of February where I got paid by 8 different stocks. So like I said, we had that day here on the 1st of the month where I got paid by 5 different companies. And over here, I got paid by 8 different stocks. Again, for some reason, some companies prefer to pay on a certain day, okay? So here we have AbbVie, right? This is a spin-off from Abbott Laboratories, another dividend growth favorite. $104 from AbbVie, because I do have quite a few shares, but they also pay quite a high dividend yield. Then we have A.O. Smith with $33.80. Not many people know about this company, but I think they make boilers, right? It's as boring as you can get. And as you know, I really do enjoy investing in boring companies that make things that people will always need, like hot water, right? For as long as people want hot water, I think that A.O. Smith Corporation is going to do pretty well. Then we've got Colgate Palmolive, okay, $17. Hasbro, $23. Hormel Foods, $46. Another one of my favorites. Realty Income, a lot of people in the dividend investing community know about this company because they pay every single month. Every single month, I earn $23.45. Then we've got Omega Healthcare Investors. That's a really chunky dividend. I think it's one of the companies that pays me the most in dividends, to be fair. That is because the dividend yield is very high, right? They are a REIT and the dividends tend to be higher. Then we've got Procter & Gamble over here with $39.53. And then finally on the 19th of February, Caterpillar paid me $30.90. And Unum Group, I've made a video about Unum Group before. I think this is another hidden gem really that was really beaten down by the pandemic. They pay me $114.00. Okay, that was on the 19th of February. So the total of all of this comes up to $983.97. Now, before we end the video, I want to show you a couple more things, okay? You'll notice here that Dividend Compass compares your current February, okay, this latest month, whichever month that is, with the same month from the previous year. And in this case, it actually looks like my dividend income decreased by 10%, which is not good. It's definitely not what I want, but with Dividend Compass, it's actually very easy to navigate, right? So over here, you can go forward, you can go backwards, okay? You see how quick this is, okay? You can go back to this month, which is March. This is a little spoiler, but let's go back to February. And then you can actually go back 1 year. So here we have February of 2020. And as you can see, it looks like 2 more stocks paid me. Now, I know my portfolio quite well, so I know that these were, MSC Industrial and also Lazard. Now, I do still own shares in these companies. Actually, Starbucks as well. They pay me in February. I do still own shares in these companies, which means that they must have changed, when they pay a dividend. So instead of paying in February, perhaps they paid in, January, perhaps. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, there you go. See, MSC Industrial decided to pay at the end of January. One last thing I wanted to show you is the progression of these dividends, okay? Because this is a lot of money, okay? I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot of money. Most people are not gonna earn $1,000 a month in dividends straight away. But as you can see, this is actually my history, okay? This particular portfolio for me started in 2016. This wasn't my first portfolio, okay? I've been investing before, but in 2016 is when I started building this particular portfolio and really taking my journey to financial independence more seriously and investing large amounts of money into this portfolio. So as you can actually see, so let's take 2016 off. 2017 is in yellow, right? So if you compare February of 2017, that was $156, right? And you can see the growth in that income. Obviously, we have that decrease in income for some reason. That wasn't because my dividends were cut or anything, at least not in this month. I don't believe any dividends were cut from the companies that I showed you in this video. But you can see the growth. Every year when compared to the year before, that dividend is higher than the previous year, right? And 2021, I hope that it is bigger than the previous year. I've not invested any money in quite a long time, to be fair. I think that the market is very expensive. I like to get a good deal every time I invest my money. But anyway, guys, this has been a sort of in-depth view on my dividend income, about my dividend growth portfolio. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you found this educational, and I really hope that this has shown you what kinds of companies I personally invest in. I really do believe in every single one of these companies. Otherwise, I wouldn't own it in my portfolio, right? So let me know what you think about this kind of video, right? This is obviously slightly more uncomfortable for me because I'm showing you everything. Okay, this is real. This is my real portfolio. And inside of Dividend Compass, again, there's a link below if you want to check this out and put your own portfolio and see exactly when you're going to get paid, when you get paid, right? It shows you everything that you need to know about your personal dividends. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you want me to make more of these videos. Give me feedback below, like this video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you've really enjoyed it, okay? Yeah, I will probably see you by the time I've moved house, so I really hope you have a nice end of the month. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy.